Well, hey there, entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another of our live broadcast Ask Me Anything sessions where you're bringing your social media marketing questions. And for 20 minutes, I'm answering them live in real time. And for those of you who have written in before over on our Facebook page, we're prioritizing your questions today as well. We are talking all about when you should be purging your newsletter and getting rid of those people who are not opening your emails. We're talking about what time is best to broadcast or to post videos on YouTube. We are talking all about how long your Instagram live videos are. We're even going to be talking about whether you should be using Facebook groups or Facebook pages to go live, or what that ratio is going to be, as well as talking about your questions that are coming in while we are live. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm excited to see you guys. Let's dive in and start answering your questions. And if you are on the live with us, drop your questions now. If you're on the replay, drop your questions in the comments, and I will save them for next week, because every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we are right here live on YouTube answering your social media questions so you can create a profitable business through smart social media marketing. So we had a ton of questions come in this week. I'm really excited for these ones. And Alyssa wrote in and said, how often should you declutter your mailing list? Now, this is a really good question because we know it costs us money to have people on our mailing list. So we have to be very, very aware that if people are on our newsletters but are not opening them, that is costing us money, and we're not reaching those people. They are not our ideal clients. They are not people who are going to engage with us or interact with us. If they're just ignoring our emails or just straight up deleting them, this is not going to help us. But furthermore, besides just costing you money, this is actually hurting your email standing. Because we know that some of these different email platforms, the ones that receive our newsletters, are qualifying our emails. They're deciding whether or not it should go into a spam folder, whether or not they should be showing it to us. And it's based on the interaction we get on our newsletter. It's based on how many people are opening those newsletters. And so if people are on your newsletter but are not opening it or are not working with your newsletter and interacting with it in any way, that actually works against you, and that means you're more likely to end up in your spam folder, which I actually got something for you. I'm going to tell you about it in just a second. But to answer this question, how often should you be decluttering it? It's really important to do this. This is something that does take a little time, does take a little effort. You have to go in and you have to manually figure out what's what and hit some buttons. Some newsletter service providers are more complicated than others, so it really depends on your service that you're using. But you should be decluttering this. You should be purging your list a couple times a year, I would say. Some people do it once or twice a year. I would recommend about once a quarter. You can do it more often, but you're going to have people who go through times when maybe they don't open your emails. So you are going to want to, do it once a quarter is usually pretty good on that one. And you also might want to, before you are purging, you might want to do some re-engagement stuff. So if you have a little sequence built up so that you can re-engage that audience, you're giving out some freebies, you're giving out some extras, you are giving them really good bonus content, you're like doing your absolute best to get them to open a couple of emails before you send out the, hey, do you want to stay here letter? That is probably going to help you to get some of them re-engaged with you. So I do recommend doing that, but we do talk about that in other courses actually. So we've got some cool stuff for you guys. As I mentioned, I am really excited for this one, and I have some bonus content that will help you out on this. The first of which is our newsletter course, which is not available right now. So sorry, guys, you can't get it right now, but it will be available in the next few months. It's Click-Worthy Newsletters for Bosses, where we actually break down everything you need to know about creating a really valuable newsletter that actually gets opened and helps to grow your business in a really profitable way. So I'm breaking down everything you need to know in this, but you can't get it right now. So I do have to on some of my tips and tricks because they're inside of the course here. But make sure you check that out and stay tuned, because this will be coming in the not too distant future for you guys. But I think you guys are also going to like what I have for you tomorrow. So let me just shout this out before we do anything else. Tomorrow, I am going live at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube, and we are breaking down my number one tip to keep your newsletters out of people's spam boxes. This is actually something I haven't heard a single person talk about yet. Maybe they have, but I haven't heard any newsletter person talk about this. And it has really, really helped to grow my newsletters and make sure that I'm not ending up in the spam folder on people's in people's inboxes because it's really, really important for my content to be seen. And so I use this one simple trick to get them to engage with me and make sure it stays out of other people's spam boxes. So stay tuned and join me tomorrow. Hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you do not miss out on this really cool live broadcast where I'm breaking down exactly what that number one tip is and how you can do it too inside of your business. Now, let's also ask, how much different should group lives be versus page lives? Well, here's the deal with this one. When it comes to group lives and page lives, they are very different things. Groups are usually tighter knit people. There's usually more there in terms of conversation. There are threads inside of these groups. They're there for a specific reason. And because we know Facebook prioritizes groups over pages, it is seen more. However, there are drawbacks to doing lives inside of groups. Like you can't show them outside of that group. Like you can't put in a thumbnail. Like you can't do any of the behind the scenes SEO-y type stuff inside of your groups. Whereas your page content is actually public. People can find it, people can watch it, as opposed to groups where only members can watch it. So it depends on what you want to do. It depends on what you're structuring your page and your group as. As far as this goes, you can do some very similar content and you can do some different content. Remember, your group should be probably a little more in depth, a little bit better, a little bit extra, a little bit of something in there, because these are your people. This is your tribe. This is your group of people who have come to assemble around you and to learn from you or to grow from you or to buy your stuff or whatever it happens to be. So with your lives, I would actually say you can go longer in your live broadcast and you can go further in depth. You, in fact, use these as mini training sessions or to really give extra value to your customers. I know Alyssa happens to be a candle maker. And guys, stay tuned because Alyssa is actually one of the guest speakers on the Social Media for Bosses podcast, which comes out this weekend. You'll actually be able to hear her episode and how she made $4,000 extra in her business in just a couple of months just by using Instagram and social media. And I'm going to show you exactly what she did. She's a student of mine, and we're breaking that down inside of the podcast. So make sure you hang out and check out the Social Media for Bosses podcast because it's all kinds of fun. It comes out on Sunday, and we're really excited for you guys to check this one out. So stay tuned for that. And so Alyssa would probably be using her groups a little bit differently than her pages. On her page, she might show off her products, she might talk about sales, but inside of her group, she's going to do more in-depth sales. She's going to get them more engaged. She's going to facilitate more of a conversation for that, and it's going to be member exclusive. So it's going to be a little bit better, a little bit richer, a little bit more in-depth because these are her people and she needs to take care of them inside of her group. Pages are going to be a little bit on the shorter side because if people are just getting to know you on your page, they may not watch a very long broadcast or a very in-depth broadcast. They may be looking for shorter videos and shorter live broadcasts, but it doesn't mean that they should be totally different. I would do your live Ask Me Anythings on both your group and your pages. I would do your showing off of products and services. I would do your lessons on both, but then give a little extra to your group. In terms of frequency on these, I would go about half and half. I would make sure I am going live in my group as frequently as possible and live on my page as frequently as possible because you want to take care of your members inside of your group, but you also want to be there and show people who are just meeting you and just figuring out what your page is and what's going on over there. You want to show them that you are there and active and you are doing all the things for them as well. So I love this question because we are hanging out with groups and with lives and with Facebooks. And we're talking all about lives recently. If you guys have not checked out our videos, we've been talking all about Instagram Live lately. So stay tuned. We've got some really cool things going on, including a challenge right now. Christian wrote in this week. There we go. Take that one off. And said, wow, great tips here. You are an IG master. I'm a total noob, so these tips are so helpful. Love using the DM to get questions for Instagram Live. Thank you, Christian. Thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate you checking out the video as we were talking all about how you can be using your direct message inbox to actually get your questions for your Instagram Lives. Pretty dang cool, right? All right, we did have some other people joining us this week, and if you have a question, if you're joining me live, go ahead and drop that down below. I'd love to get that answer for you guys. Elizabeth said, this is going to be a godsend. Thank you so much. She was talking about one of our videos over on YouTube this week. Make sure you are checking those out because we dropped some really good tips for Instagram Live, and you do not want to miss out on those. We were doing all the fun things over on our platform this week. And I would love to hear from you guys. If you've got questions, I want to get those answered for you. Amber wrote in. Amber had the questions this week. And Amber said, what is the best type of content for TikTok as an author? So TikTok is a really cool platform. TikTok is kind of like, you guys remember Vine back in the day? It was like those little short videos. Well, TikTok is little short videos, and you are just kind of doing interesting things to engage people. You can potentially use it as kind of like a series of videos, but you can like real quick answer questions. Mostly this is based on like music and fun things and lip syncing. So I know on my author platform, I tend to lip sync with books, which I know sounds really weird for me, but I do. I grab a book and I will lip sync songs. I'll do funny little things. I'm not known for being a funny person, but I do try to be a little on the funnier side, which is nice because on TikTok, it's really short. I don't have to be funny for prolonged periods of time, and I can plan it in advance. So on TikTok, the entire point is to be entertaining. It's not about being educational in most senses. Now, you should be using this to introduce people to you and your business. So let them see your personality, let them see the behind the scenes of your business, but in a fun and comical way. And then make sure you are engaging them and you're doing something entertaining. And if you sneak in a little education on the behind the scenes of your business, so like if you're a photographer, you could be dancing around while you're editing a photo, or you could do something funny where you're like slumped over and just frustrated beyond what normally is when you're editing your photos, or you're turning it into a comedy sketch, basically is what you're doing. So you want to do something that is entertaining, engaging, and maybe a little bit behind the scenes of your business. I think TikTok is fantastic for those behind the scenes and to get people to know your personality and to trust you a little bit more. And this definitely sways toward a younger audience. So if you are someone who does not have that younger generation following you for your services or your product, TikTok's probably not a place for you. But if you are someone, especially like an author, I know Amber is a young adult author. She is engaging that younger generation. And so TikTok is a great place for you to be. She also says, does the time of day you post your YouTube video matter like it does with other platforms? Amber, yes, it does. Just like all the social media platforms, YouTube has an algorithm. They are paying attention to how much engagement your videos are getting. So if you're posting things and you're not getting engagement in the first 10 minutes, hour, first day, that is going to tell them your content probably isn't so good, and they're not going to really recommend it to people. If you do post when a lot of people are on and active and they are engaged with it, you will probably be shown a little bit more, a little bit higher. You're going to be recommended to them a little bit higher within their YouTube feed. So it does matter what time you're posting, but it's based on when your fans are available. So if you are sending something out in your newsletter, know when it's going out. And when people are going to see that. If you know that you have people who are going to be watching YouTube videos, or if you're going to post it immediately to social media so that they go watch it, that's going to help you. Now, having said that, it doesn't matter in a huge sense because YouTube's a really great search engine. And when people start typing things in, they can go see it whenever. And so a lot of times you are going to get more engagement later on, but you do want to try to get that initial burst of engagement because that will help your algorithm standing. But overall, it's okay. If you post something when you post something, that's fine. You will get your views later on. That's okay too. Just make sure you're actually actively promoting your video and your content so that people are coming to see it when they have time. So if they're not there immediately, it's okay. It's okay. It would have helped you, but it's okay. You can still do well with your videos. So the overall takeaway from this is post when you know people are going to be there, but if you can't, post your videos, put them up there, get them out there, market them. And you know, your engagement is important, but not as important as actually getting the content out there. Amber also says, how long is the ideal newsletter? Well, Amber, this depends. This depends on your niche. It depends on your business. It depends on your brand. It depends on what your people want. Do your people want to see a really long newsletter from you? Cool. Send a really long newsletter. If people just want like a little tip for the day, just send something short. It really truly depends on what you are doing inside of your business and what type of entrepreneur you are. Now, for Amber, I know that she is a young adult author. And so I can very clearly speak to this because I'm also a young adult author, bestseller right here, friends. And fans like to read things. They really do. Don't write like the long newsletters to them. Don't write long blurbs. You don't want like a ton of text. Break it up into sections. So for you, for authors, for people who are maybe selling products as opposed to services, you are going to be breaking this up into sections. So like a little introduction paragraph, and then you're going to show off one of your products and how it's being used in a cool way. And then you're going to show off a video you put out this week. And then you're going to show off a question that a fan sent in and you are answering. And then you're going to show off how you did something behind the scenes this week. And so you're breaking it up into sections, which makes it really entertaining and bite-sized. And that is the point. Make sure you're sending out bite-sized content so that people can scroll, they can see what they want to see, they can read what they want to read. Don't write in massive chunks of text. This is different when it comes to someone like a business coach or a strategist or someone selling services, because you're actually not going to be breaking it up into these sections for the most part. Usually you're going to send out one big thing because you want them to go see one thing. You want them to see your podcast. You want them to see your video. You want them to see something that you're doing inside of your business that's going to help them. You're going to give them one tip, one trick. And these people are looking for the quick wins. This is not entertainment. This is educational. They're looking for those quick wins. So you're giving them one assignment to do, or you're giving them one thing to think about, or you're giving them one thing to focus on inside of your newsletter. And so for that, especially if you're watching a lot of these great people in the industry, you're going to notice there's no graphics. They aren't putting extra things in here. It's not a pretty newsletter. It is literally black and white text with an occasional GIF. And so it's very, very different as opposed to doing something that's a little bit more entertaining, like an author or like a candle maker or like a photographer who's going to be showing off all the different photo sessions and helping people to get ready for them and all that fun, fabulous stuff that they're putting in their newsletters. So it really depends on what you are doing inside of your business. For you, Amber, longer is actually good, but break it up into bite-sized chunks so that you are entertaining to them and they can easily consume that content and focus in on what they want to see. So show off everything you're doing for them because you're giving them all this great content, and then send that out to them in a little bit longer format, but in those bite-sized chunks. For those of you who are on the strategist consultant, wow, that was hard, consultant or the coach side of things, you're going to be doing a little bit differently because you're educating. You're giving them that quick win. You're giving them that one thing to think about, and it's not going to be image heavy. It's not going to have a lot of extra bonus stuff in it. It's not going to have a lot of fluff. You are reaching out and having a conversation with them as opposed to showing off stuff that they might want to check out. All right, let's move on. We've got some really great questions. And if you are joining me live, I would love to get your questions answered. Today, we are talking all about your social media questions because we're creating profitable businesses through smart social media marketing here at KM Robinson and Social Media for Bosses. And I would love to get your questions answered every single week. We post a brand new graphic over on our Facebook page, facebook.com/KM Robinson Social. And you can drop your questions the night before so that I can get as many of your questions answered as possible. I do prioritize the ones that come in early, but we love answering questions while we are live as well. And Nando joined us this week. He said, your energy is outstanding. Thanks for these amazing tips on Ask Me Anything Lives. We talked all about that on our YouTube this week, how you could do it over on Instagram and how it grows your business. Don't forget, we're hosting a challenge next week. Video is video is out. I had to think about that. Video is out at this point. You can get yourself prepared to go live all week next week. His big takeaway was to have questions prepared so the folks on the replay can also I didn't get the whole thing. Well, they're also going to see and be able to engage with that as well. So thanks, Anna. Appreciate you being here. We always love hanging out with you guys over on our YouTube page. Make sure you're leaving questions and comments so that we can answer them here and shout you guys out as you are hanging out with us. Drost Videos commented, I like the idea of having one big theme per month and repurposing it when we were talking about building 3 months of content in a single day. We broke down exactly how you can be doing that, how you can do batch creation, and how you can knock out 3 months of content so you can focus on other things in your business. And I want to hear from you guys. What other topics would you like to see on our live broadcast show, Social Media for Bosses, which, by the way, we go live tomorrow. Remember, we are talking all about those fabulous newsletters, and we are chatting about the number one way to keep your newsletter out of people's spam boxes. This is a super easy tip. You guys are going to love it. And I'm breaking down everything for you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, live right here on YouTube. So make sure you are hitting the subscribe and notification bell so that you do not miss out on all of the fun. All right. Past English was with us this week over on YouTube. And she says she's thinking about joining us for our Instagram Live challenge. She tutors in English, and she's happy to talk about what she does, but does it need to be short? Does her Instagram Live need to be short? So I answered her over on YouTube. I'm going to answer her here as well because I think this is really important for you guys. Going live on Instagram is important, but Instagram takes time to notify people, and it takes time for people to show up. So if you do a super short video, people aren't going to see it. And will they stick around for the replay? Maybe yes, maybe no. But people aren't going to show up to the live, which means you're not going to have a very good engagement rate on that video, which is not good. So when it comes to Instagram, I always recommend doing 15 to 20 minutes as your shortest live broadcast. And honestly, if you're going live somewhere, it shouldn't be less than 15 minutes. If you don't have 15 minutes to give to them, don't bother going live. Just create a video. It doesn't even matter. If your video is less than that 15 minutes, whatever you're going to say, it doesn't need to be a live broadcast. It needs to be a video. So going live on Instagram, you should plan on no less than 15 to 20 minutes for your live broadcast. And you can go up to an hour on Instagram because Instagram has that 1 hour cap. Boo. But you have 15 to 20 minutes all the way up to an hour to go live. And when people start to join you, they'll actually start interacting with you and ask you questions, which will probably prolong your video just a little bit, which is great because it's good engagement. It's showing Instagram's algorithm that people are talking to you and you're having fun with them and they're still hanging out with you, which is a really good, important thing. So the longer, the better when it comes to these live broadcasts, but no less than 15 to 20 minutes. If it is less than that, just do a video. Don't even bother, especially if you're trying to have a conversation with them, which is exactly what a live broadcast is, having a conversation with them. It's not just speaking at people, it's interacting with them. So the longer, the better, because it gives them more opportunities to hang out with you and chat and ask those questions. Amanda Abella was here. She says these tips were amazing. Great job. Well, thank you, lady. I appreciate the shout out. We love hanging out on our YouTube page, and I appreciate everyone's love on the videos, because we've been getting some really great, fabulous things from people. And Mandy Summer says, this scares me, but I think I will try it. Thanks, girl. Hey, girl, we're excited for you. Shout out. Mandy is joining our Instagram live challenge next week. Every day, Monday through Friday, girlfriend is going live on her Instagram. We dropped 5 different videos that you should be doing to engage your Instagram channel and make sure you're getting people to engage with you. We broke down all 5 days over on our YouTube page. Make sure you are checking out that video, Instagram live challenges, and jumpstart your Instagram. I'm really very excited about this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to hear from you guys. What's going on? Have you tried live broadcasting before? Let me hear from you. How to Train a Dream Dog says, love the daily tips and what to do and what to talk about. Sometimes I struggle with ideas to share with my audience. Well, we're excited that you are here. I'm glad that we could be helpful to you. And you've got so much cool content, especially if you're training your dream dog. As a lady with 3 dogs, I like your channel. And I am super glad that you are learning from this and you are growing your platform as well. So thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here as always. We got some more love from Lauren. Lauren says, love these videos. I learned so much about IG from your channel. Well, thank you, girl. I appreciate you being here. I always love seeing you pop up in the comments and I love your encouragement. So thank you so much for that. If you've got questions, we are going to get more of these answered next week for you. The Primal Desire says, this is genius. Talk about a time saver. We were talking all about that batch creation on YouTube this week. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you showing up and checking out these videos every single time we are dropping them. We are dropping new videos every single Tuesday and Friday here on the channel for you guys. Right now, we're talking all about Instagram Live and how you can succeed through live broadcasting on Instagram. I know it's a scary thing, but man, does it jumpstart your algorithm. It is a good thing. If you want to grow your Instagram, lives are the way to do it. I am so serious. Lives are amazing. We're doing an Instagram challenge next week. We're super excited because we're getting you guys to go live for 5 days in a row. And I'm telling you exactly what type of broadcast you were going to be doing. It's super easy to do. You guys, it's so easy. It's so easy for you to do. We break down everything you need to know inside of our videos, so make sure you check that out. And of course, we are going live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. That is every single Thursday for our Social Media for Bosses talk show, where we are bringing you really cool guest teachers. We're breaking down in-depth content on how you can grow your brand in a profitable way through smart social media marketing. We're also dropping our Social Media for Bosses podcast, which comes out this weekend. This Sunday, our first 3 episodes come out. We're actually breaking down how one of my clients, one of my students, leveraged what I was teaching her about Instagram to bring in $4,000 extra in just like a couple of months. That's just directly from Instagram, nothing else, not the other business. $4,000 just by hanging out on Instagram. I'm going to show you guys how to do that too. We are going to be talking about 10 ways that you can repurpose a single video, and we've got some other episodes coming out soon too. I'm recording them right now, so I don't remember the second one, but we've got a whole bunch of really good episodes coming out in the next couple of days and the next couple of weeks. Every single Sunday, we're dropping brand new episodes of the Social Media for Bosses podcast for you guys. Don't miss out. It's going to be all kinds of fun. And we are doing our live Ask Me Anythings every single Wednesday right here on YouTube Live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to get your questions answered. Go ahead and drop those down below if you've got questions, and I'll answer them for you next week. In the meantime, make sure you are checking out all the great videos on our YouTube channel, and you are coming to hang out with us at social media, or on social media at KM Robinson Social for all the fun. We've got some cool stuff dropping for you in the next couple weeks. I'm really excited for this one. And if you are excited and you would like to hang out with me in person, you can come to MerMagicCon in February. End of February, I'm going to be speaking at MerMagicCon teaching on social media strategy for professional mermaids, but it applies to all of you entrepreneurs. So if you want to come hang out with me in person, mermagiccon.com for more information. I'll be talking a little bit about that next week with you guys, and I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do to grow your profitable businesses through smart social media marketing. Check out the other YouTube videos, hit the subscribe and notification bell, and I will see you again tomorrow as we are breaking down my #1 tip for making sure that your newsletter emails do not end up in people's spam boxes. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm KM Robinson. Come hang out, kmrobinson.com and socialmediaforbosses.com. I will see you again next time. Until then, have a great day and stay inspired.